Welcome back to Brick City, everyone. And wow, I ended up changing almost the whole city except for the clone base here. I originally wanted to only change up little Tattoine here and some parts of the back corner here, fill in the gaps. But I ended up changing the whole city a lot more, and it's different than originally planned. But I love it. I like this new open layout that I made here. And the new corner is also a lot better covered up now. So let's rewind and go back what I had originally planned 2 days ago. And then take a close look at the new city layout. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Switch over little Tattoine. Put it up front here, put a light tower towards the back, and then we're gonna build a harbor. But also have to rearrange this whole back corner because I'm thinking about if I want to either in the back corner there or over here if I want to build a high mountain, kind of like what Brixie has, and add in train entrance and elevate this whole corner higher. So let's get started and move everything around. And here's our little first update. So I got done with little Tattoine. I switched that around from the back corner up front here. Added some of the figures in the buildings already, and the light tower over here, of course. Not sure yet if I'm gonna put the whole harbor back there and maybe integrate Darth Vader's castle. But while I was doing all this, I got a big change on here too. I changed the whole city out. All the way to the clone base. The clone base stayed the same. I'm sorry for the mess, everyone. But as you see, pretty much every single building in the city has been moved around. And I really like it so far. So I'm gonna keep building, putting streets in. You see everywhere gaps and everything. So I'm gonna place in the streets. I'm not gonna do full details yet, but I will show you as soon as I got those done. So I finished off detailing the whole city here. And let's start right over here by the clone base and my little river. So you see I put the medieval blacksmith and the A-frame over here from the back corner and integrated them with a lot bigger of a park. Put some of the trees from the A-frame in here, and my whole Mandalorian forge is also in there now. So the blacksmith has a full forge now, and right here next to the tank where I also have my troop station from the previous videos where you remember the conflict between the clones and the Mandalorians. So that will continue, and it's a lot more in a way isolated than how it was beforehand. So this way we got the green area and nature where everything is going on between the Cold War here. And then the spice mine has stayed in the same spot. But then going from there into the city, we're gonna start in the back. We got the Birch Brook and the assembly square back there. I chose those two buildings back there because the assembly square is one of my favorite buildings, and I have not been able to integrate it into any of my past cities in a way that I can look at it a lot. Because it's one of my favorite builds, and anytime in my city it's always like somewhere like angled or hidden in the back where I don't get a good see of it, so especially since it's 1.5 base plates, so it's hard sometimes in the city to integrate it without like some way of adding another half plate to it. Luckily my Spice Mountain is 1.5 base plates, so that makes it even with the 3 base plates. I left my Lego store kinda in the same area, but I spin it around. So this way you got a good view of the Lego stuff on the one side with the Mandalorian embassy here. And then right next to it, the Bad Batch, which were in the last layout just around the corner, but pretty good hidden, like it was hard to see it from the angle. And this way I'm happy, I get to see it all the time now. I got all my nice buildings here up front. And my diner. Diner was my first modular building, so I also like that. I always have it in the front row, especially it's so unique, it's so beautiful. And I like that 1950 styles of it. And I got my subway station up front here. And some of the small accessories like flower pots, all street lights and lamps. Going into the back here, I also see I got all the small details back here already. Like the bus stop, garbage cans, recycling, and the truck also picking it up. And then to the left here we have the small party district with the jazz club and the cinema and the pizzeria. So we got the shopping aisle right next to the right next to all the partying and socializing. Right next to it, hidden in the corner now, is the botanic garden. Just because I forgot about a little bit when I put the city together. Then we got also the bank and the hotel now on Wall Street. Going from there we go to the main big road at Central Park West. And we have the police station with the Daily Bugle and Marvel. So I'm going to try to keep all my Marvel sets towards the back there. Of course it also has a spin-off with Star Wars in it, with Mace Windu and Palpatine doing their thing there, while the police is just thinking they're rescuing him with the police and fire and EMS. And then going over here, we got little Tattoine. This way I was finally able to integrate a little bit better into the city. It's a lot more close up to the downtown area, and it's a nice view from here. So whenever I look down on the main road on little Tatooine, you look into the city, not like how it was in the old layout, where you just look on the plywood between half-built roads and buildings. But I put my UCS cantina here, and then all the small buildings that I had. I was not able to fit in Jabba's palace, just because of the size, the style of the building. It's too much open area and it does not look good integrated into the city yet, unless I want to do big changes to it. I just left the beach how it was and switched it over a little bit. I mirrored it. It was a lot of work and a lot of tiling to mirror this. But this way I also got now a great view of the light tower and Darth Vader's castle. So they're forming two islands in which between the new Arctic ship can just come in between, and where the green base plate is going to be part of where the new harbor is going to come. So we'll put the harbor over those two base plates here and a little bit on this base plate by the end of the road. So I'm going to do a mix from the road into the harbor. I just have my little fish cutter there for now, just to hold the place. But I will eventually get to it and start building on it. Maybe I'm gonna integrate a little bit of Darth Vader's tower into the harbor area, especially since it's gonna be pretty plain and grey. But yeah. But if you were wondering, a lot of the scenes, they stayed. Like we still have all our Star Wars groupation. Like we have Rebels back here. We got the Cantina bar. We still got Palpatine buying the Death Star plans at the bookstore. Of course, the Mandalorians are still at the embassy or up front. And then, of course, we also have the Han Solo movies and Andor and some of the more recently Disney movies by the Spice Mine. So as you see, I always try to keep them all similarly within the vicinity of their movies or TV shows where they came from. But then I also always have like some individuals that are just spread around the city, just to get a lot more of a Star Wars vibe. So it's all integrated, it's one city, but it's still Star Wars. And I want to keep it that way. Like for example, here by the police station we have Andor escaping right now in his prison suit. Even though Andor itself, the scene and some of the other figures are over there by the Spice Mine. I put streets name all over the street, so every street in my city has a signage. So like we got Tiles Square here by the Bad Batch. We got Wall Street here by the bank, Central Park West by the Daily Bugle, and then of course my long main road is Times Square as always, leading all the way to the clone base. But I hope you like this new city layout as much as I do. I just love it since it's so much open air. You can see everything from around here. No matter what angle I'm gonna film or take pictures on, you always get to see something good, and it's not like hidden or other buildings are in the way now. Plus with having that big green area, I love it so much more. Because it looks more like nature, like having only on limited of being one base plate at a time with the building and then trying to integrate nature is pretty hard. But I think this way we have a nice transition from the mountains to the green foresty, to the city, and then to the warm climate like the beach. A little Tattoine here in the warm area. I have not done any snow areas, and I'm thinking if I either want to put it back in the corner, elevate a lot more higher, or if I just want to do it seasonal, so once Christmas comes around and integrate a little bit more of the snow into it. Maybe put some Christmas decorations and all that, and just make the snow in the city. But we will see once it comes to that. I hope you like this.